Greetings, tech enthusiasts. A splendid evening to all gathered at Hacken ITR 5.0. I am Atre and I'm honored to guide you through this exciting session. For those connecting virtually, let's set the stage. Hacken ITR, a powerhouse of innovation, India's premier student run hackathon where ingenious minds like yours converge to code solutions that redefine the future. So, for today's session, let's give a virtual round of applause for our distinguished guest, Debasmita Sarkar, a true luminary at a Google developer expert in Flutter. Beyond her coding prowess, Debasmita ma'am brings a unique blend of passion and expertise, making her a beacon in the Flutter community. Now, let's embark on this journey together. And I invite you to drop your questions for Debasmita Sarkar in the comments. All your queries will find answers at the end. Without further ado, let's dive into the tech wonders with Debashmita ma'am leading the way. Let us all welcome her to the stage.
Hello everyone. Can you guys hear me? Okay, I guess yes. I'm Debasmita, as Atri already said, and I am a Google developer expert for Flutter and Dart. And recently, I'm trying to, get into the AI zone as like again with everyone. I think most of us are very excited about AI. So today's session is kind of gonna be about that, kind of empowering Flutter with Gemini. And okay, so before I start with the session, so I want to ask if you guys know about Flutter. Or like how's your knowledge about Flutter? Although today's session is not gonna be mostly very deep into Flutter, it's just Flutter is gonna be there just to support the output or the input of Gemini AI that we're gonna give. But yeah, I would like to know if you guys have started with Flutter, very new to it, or even have not heard of it. I would love if you can put those in the chat section, so that I get an idea around how would you able to get the session. Otherwise, I'll just kind of like little bit take you through Flutter for some minutes, and then we're gonna start with Gemini. Okay, I can't see any comment in the chat section. Cool. Anyways, so I'll just give you a brief of it, and what we will do today, I'll give you a brief of that. I have not prepared a slide of deck because I thought it's gonna be interactive. Because anyway, it's a virtual session, so I can't see you guys. So it's gonna be interactive. If I can do something, try to code something, and then that'll be in okay, that will be very interesting. I saw a comment saying that it would be better if you can just give an overview of Flutter. I'm happy to do that. Okay, let me just share my screen first. Okay, and okay, this is like a prepared slide. I prepared it very long back. Okay, so basically, I'm going to give an overview of Flutter then. So let's understand what Flutter is. So you see all of these applications. This actually looks very cool. And if I go to the next slide, you can see some of the logos like Google Pay, Groupon, Nubank, Dream 11. All these companies actually use Flutter for their application. Flutter is a open source framework which can be used to develop Android application, iOS application, and then it also can be used for applications in web, desktop, Mac OS, Linux, whatever you say. Like every platform it can support, right? So the language behind Flutter is Dart, so you have to write code in Dart. If you are not familiar with Dart, it's not that difficult to understand, or the syntax is not very difficult. If you are familiar with, let's say, Java or even C++, then it's very easier for you to switch in a way. To use the Flutter framework, you have to use write code in Dart. And so when you compile it for Android, it will create an APK. For iOS, it will create IPA. And for website, it's just gonna draw on the canvas and create web applications, right? So that's kind of a gist of it. So these are some of the advantages of Flutter. Even if, let's say, you see, like, you would be probably thinking that since we are not in an Android device or iOS device, we are not using native applications, it's gonna be slow or something. It's not, it's very fast. If you like, I think most of you have experienced Google Pay. So the application was earlier in Android and iOS, and later, around, I think, 2 years back, they shifted, 2 or 3 years back, they shifted to Flutter. And it works very smoothly. A lot of the a lot of companies are switching to Flutter nowadays because of the cost cut. And also, apps made with Flutter are really, really beautiful, and you can like maintain one team to do that. So more productivity, good for the companies, right? Okay, so these are most of the advantages, and then I'm not gonna go into this. Okay, so this is a sort of a overview of Flutter architecture. So think about this. Okay, let's say when you think about an application, let's say for example Google Pay, you have that scratch card thing. You can type like the amount and pay it to some person, select that person. So all of those smaller things, those components are widgets actually. So in Flutter, everything is widget. So let's say you are trying to type something in text box, that is also a widget. You are tapping on a button, that's also a widget, right? So most of the Flutter framework is built with like most of it is widgets. And then so if you see here, there are like two parts. Now what Flutter does is, it has this widgets, it has the platform layers in a way. By platform, I mean that, let's say the camera, the Google Maps, so all these things are comes under platform code. So those are there, and then finally it compile it to a native code, or APK, as I said, for Android and IPA as well. So and then they borrow all the services from your device. So from your device has location, Bluetooth, all the services. And Flutter borrows or takes the data from it, and then like uses it in your application. I know it's a little bit what do you say, like little bit kind of boring or very difficult to understand from this. So if I start with Flutter, I would probably go to flutter.dev. And I'm not sure if you can see the screen. Let me just switch it to all the view so that I can uh, just a second. Okay, I think now you'd be able to see it. Okay, so if you go to flutter.dev, the documentation is pretty clear. And you would see that there are like a lot of things here. You can see all the use cases, all the examples of Flutter. And basically like you can try Dart in Dartpad as well. So this is where you can write Dart code, and if you run it, you can see all the things are happening in Dart, and then you can see everything being built here. So that's kind of, this is kind of an example, like a short not ID, it's just a portal to run your Dart code and see what's happening here. So we're going to come to this later, but yeah, mostly you can go through this. And then there are, like, if you want to learn Flutter, um, like you can go through this documentation. There are, like, if you are a very beginner, then you should start with this, or intermediate, then there are like very few things that you would probably want to learn. Those are there as well. In advanced level, you would find animations, you would find what you say, like mostly animations, and then custom paint, all those little UI tricks. All Everything is there in a way. But I would like, if you are absolute beginner and have not developed anything in Flutter, or just starting, then I would recommend you to take any one of the free YouTube courses, or maybe Udemy courses. Even go through blogs. There are good blogs in the community, so you can go through that. So like, I can show you some applications so that you can have a little bit idea. So okay, so which one I can pick? uh okay, let's pick the first, this one then. Okay, it's a video. Well, this is basically, they're basically explaining everything they have done with Flutter. um Let me find some samples, if I can find. Okay, let's say this. So you can build this sort of screens. You can build anything in mobile or website, sort of like that, right? So this is a very brief. I'm just gonna stop sharing my screen now. Okay, this is a very brief introduction of Flutter. I think if I have to start with kind of go through the beginner level of Flutter, there has to be another session. But let's suppose that you know a little bit of Flutter and you want to use Flutter with AI. Then how do we do it? How easy is it? And so in today's session, we're gonna check and do a little bit of live coding as well. Okay. So I have, just a second, I will share my screen again. Okay, some of you are saying that you know Kotlin. That's good. Even you can use like Gemini AI. Then it's, I think it's, the doc is there for Kotlin as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna go here. So what we are trying to achieve in this today's session is, so you have a hackathon, right? I think starting from tomorrow or day after, and let's say you want to build something in the hackathon which catches eye and solves some real problem as well, right? So I think most of the application, or maybe whatever software you build, would be based in AI, because right now it's not in a way like a fancy thing to have. It's a necessity. It has become like that, right? So everybody is using AI, and it's gonna go stronger. And then you have to be on board, right? So in today's session, we will try to use Gemini and try to build something, try to kind of explore it. I also have not done so much with Gemini. I am mostly, I walk with Flutter, but since AI is coming to the picture, I thought, why not start with AI then, right? So we will together explore what we can do with Gemini. So okay, so this is a website that you can see. I Can you see this? Let me just ask that. Okay, I'm gonna take your questions later. Let's just go through the session, right? I think you can see this. So what we are trying to do here is, I have run my Flutter application, which is like a basic Flutter application I have created. And what I want to do is kind of explore Gemini, right? So I have run this application in Chrome, because Flutter is every platform friendly. So we will do it this in web. So what I will we will do is, we'll ask anything here to Gemini, and we'll submit the text, and let's see what Gemini comes up with. So this is one of, like, I think this is the first use case that we're going to do. And the next one would be to give some text with some image to Gemini, and we'll ask some questions about that image. And then there are multi models as well. There are models which can create a conversation. You can have a conversation with Gemini as well. So before that, so I'm going to use this Google generative AI package. This was I think published a month back. And so you can get the API key here. I think it's free now. So if you go through the setup, you can click here. I think you have to sign in with your email ID, and then you can get API key. So after that, what we're going to do is, these are some of the so we'll go through this example later, but mostly what we're trying to do is, we'll go through this quick start link, and we'll check what are the use cases possible, right? So as you can see here, we first have to set up our project, which I did with the API key. I'm not going to show the API key, but yeah, I have a file here which has the API key. And then later, what it says is, you have to set up your project, which I did here. So I'm just going to explain a little bit here. So when you um, create a Flutter project, what you do is Flutter create, and then let me know if you can see my like editor, or I have to zoom it a little bit. Let's see. Are you okay seeing whatever is, are these visible, the texts? Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so now like when we create a Flutter application, so what we do is, we write a command called flutter create, and then whatever your project name is. So here I have created this Flutter Gemini application, and then you will basically find like a initial counter application, and then you change some of the code, and then we will try to use Gemini here, right? So to do that, as I said, that I'm going to use this package. So in Flutter, if you go here, let me just copy it first. If you go to the site pub.dev, you can see there are a lot of third party packages here which Flutter uses, in a way that like not everything in Flutter is already inbuilt. So let's say I want to use Google Maps, then I will here, I'll search Google Maps, and there would be package here which I'm going to use. So there are a lot of third party packages, and this generative AI is also a package. And so, as I already said, that we are going to use the API of Gemini, and we will use it with API key. Right. Okay. So to add this in my application, I can use this, which I already did. So if you go to this pubspec.yaml file, if you don't know Flutter at all, so I can explain like very quickly what these are. So you see Android folder. These are some of the settings that you need to run the application in Android. Same for iOS. Some of the setup is there so that it can support your application running in iOS devices. Same for Linux, Mac OS, Web, Windows. So all these platforms is supported by Flutter. So the some of the platform level setup is done here. And then, so mainly this is the folder which is lib. Here you will write your Dart code. So everything that you see here is written in Dart. Okay, so and also, like if you see here, this is the main function. So in Dart, main function executes first, and so if inside main you have like you can see that I have written run app, which is running my application basically, and then you can use whatever class you have for this application, and going ahead you can have navigation, other widgets, other screens and all. Okay, so okay, I was here. Then okay, this is the pubspec YAML file. So if you go through the description, it says that all the dependencies that Flutter need, it has to be listed here. So you see Flutter as an SDK, also listed as a dependency, and there are like these two I have added. I added this generative AI package as a dependency, then image picker, because we want to pick the images. Let's see if we're going to use that or we can straight out like use the images that I have here. Okay. And yeah, basically that's it. That's what for now you need to know. Okay, so let's go through the documentation now. So it says that this is a quick step. So I have set up my project, and it says there are a couple of use cases. First one is generate text from text only input. This is the first use case we're going to do. And then the next use case would be to generate text from text and image input. This is a multi-model. Okay. um well, let's go through here. I already have my API key. Blah blah. You have to yeah, you have to secure your API key. Right now I'm not going to this file, otherwise you'd be able to see the API key. But yeah, let's say you secure your API key, all these things are done. The next thing that I have to do is, so okay, before that I have run this application in Chrome that I already said. So you see, if I can debug this, I am okay, it's not working. Sometimes VS Code is okay. Fine, it's working. So I'm inspecting all of the widgets here in a way. So I have a title here. This is, if you see, this is an app bar. This entire thing is an app bar. So I have written app bar in my scaffold. So scaffold is kind of in a way, suppose that you have you want to paint something, right, or draw something. So the first thing that you grab is like where would you draw? So you need a canvas, right? So you need a blank canvas. So imagine scaffold as that blank canvas. Okay, so this entire canvas without all this text or the buttons or anything is scaffold. And then I have written app bar, which is this one. This is going to be an app bar where I can have buttons, I can have text, whatever it is, kind of a header. And the next thing I have is a column. So let me just go here. So you see, the entire thing is a column. Columns are nothing but, let me just find if I have a workshop slide. Maybe that can help. Hmm. Okay, I don't think I have it. Just a second, let me find that as well. In between, you can ask any question if you have. I would try to answer them as well. Okay, I have it. And uh, give me a second. I'm sharing my screen. Okay. I just want to explain you what rows and columns are, and that's just it. Then we'll switch to Gemini again. Okay, so rows are basically, so as I said, everything in Flutter are widgets. So if you put, let's say, three boxes together in a row, that's gonna be three boxes in a row, right? So let's say these five things are in a row, and I can so in Flutter, row widget is kind of, imagine this border. So this is a row, and I can put whatever I want inside that row. Those will be aligned horizontally, right? Same thing for the column. So if I want to put something in my screen which are aligned vertically, then I would use column. So it's just that, it's very basic. So I wanted these things, like I want to have this text box and this buttons to be aligned horizontally. So I have used a column. And if you see this one, or maybe the next one here. So I wanted these two boxes to be aligned horizontally. That's why I used a row. Okay. So this is, and then I have these buttons as well. So first one is this one, next one is this. And on click of these buttons, I want to perform some of the operations, right? Okay, so now back to Gemini. So it says that before you can make any API calls, you need to import and initialize the generative model, which we are going to do. So let's just copy this code and we will try to put it here. Oh God, I'll just take this portion. Let me just get rid of this. There are a couple of errors and it says you need an API key, which is fine. Okay, it's taking the API key from platform. I have the API key, so I'm just gonna skip it. If you see here, I have, I think, API or Gemini API key. So I have the API key. I need model name, which I don't know yet, which is fine. And then you see there is an error here. So it says that I have to import that package. So it says import library, which is the generative AI library. After I do that, I need the model name. So first thing is done, which is kind of initializing the generative model. So if I go down, these are the use cases. So I'm going to go to the first one, which is text to text. And here I think they tells that when the prompt input includes only text, which you are going to do first, you just use the Gemini Pro model. Let's copy this then and we'll put it here. So our model is initialized, and the next thing that we have to do is we have to put that prompt, right, to Gemini to generate something. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this and on click of this button, I want Gemini to generate something. So now this is the on click of this button right now, this method is getting called, which is upload text to Gemini. And here we're going to write the code. So, okay, now I want whatever I'm writing here, let's say, what is the capital of Delhi? Sorry, India. Okay, so what is the capital of India? So I want this to be asked to Gemini. So instead of hard coding it, I'm just going to use the text that I'm inputting here to Gemini. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to do. If you see here in the text field, which is this one, I have a controller which kind of controls the text input in a way. If you don't know anything about Flutter, so let's imagine that there is a text box and there's a controller there which kind of takes care of that. Whatever you're writing, it gets updated with that. If you need the text, whatever is there inside the text box, the controller will give you that. Okay, so I'm getting the text from the controller and I will put that to Gemini model. Okay, so I can see there is an error. So since this is an future call or let's say like API call in a way, so I have to wait for some time. So I have to write that this is a future call. Okay, so after I do this, what I want to do is I want the output to be visible somewhere here. Okay, so I have a widget for that which is not visible now. Let me just make this visible in a way. So I'll just put a color to it. Let's say colors dot red or something. Okay, Right now, I think you can't see it. Yeah. So here, the output would be generated. Let me prettify it a little bit. I'll just add some padding and stuff so that it looks good. Okay. So here, your output will come. Okay. It looks very bad, but yeah, just bear with me. Um, okay, so whatever output I'm getting, what I will do is, after I get the output, I will just assign that to this output variable. Okay. Okay, so I'm supposed to get a response dot text, and that's what I am going to assign to. It says it can be, okay, my bad, it can't be a final variable. Okay, so now there's nothing as an output, and I can also get rid of that color. Okay, let's ask Gemini what is the capital of India. Okay, and fingers crossed. Let's see if this works. Okay, it gave me nothing till now, and it says that there is some error. It denotes that. And okay, so whenever you're like running anything in Flutter, especially in VS Code or in anywhere, so you can see the output in console, right? So it says some error, something, um, client exception. So I think my API key is not valid yet. But yeah, let me just try with hard coding the question again. Okay. Okay, it gives the answer here, but it's not taking the question from this, what do you say, this text output. So we are gonna check that why it is happening. So we can debug this using a debugger. My debug pointer is here, and when I press this button, I can check whatever I have written, right? When I press this, since it comes here, it says what is the capital of UK, which is fine, and it's a text. Okay, let's see what it gives. Okay, for some reason, initially it was not working, and now it is. Um, cool. Okay, so basically, now you can see that whatever we can ask to Gemini, we can get as an answer. Let's try something else. And it gives actually a crisp answer without explaining, without having a prefix of lot of sentences or a lot of suffix, sort of like that. But yeah, let's ask. What is today's date, and I'm gonna today's date, I will encourage you to ask something as well. Okay, let's ask what is Flutter. Okay, there are a lot of text, that's why it actually broke the UI. Let me fix that in a way. it takes a little bit of time. If there was a, a spinner or something, then it would have been good. But yeah, this is a quick project, so it's fine, I guess. Okay, so it gives the entire, a short history of or overview of Flutter, the key feature, the benefits, and all this stuff. Okay, so our, first use case is done, and this is a quick way to, like, if you know a little bit of Flutter and planning to use that in your hackathon, you can use this Gemini model to, add a little bit of AI touch and maybe use it for good, like quick features which can be useful. Let's say I can even ask, like, some questions, let's say, what are, some give me some calculus questions or MCQ questions. These can be sort of some of the use cases. Or if you want to train the model, you can also train a Gemini model. So I'm exploring that as well, but you can go through this documentation to kind of in a way find that. But I think it for the hackathon it would be like too much. But in very quickly you can use this to generate something. I'll go back to stop sharing my screen and ask if there are any questions. I can see a lot of questions. How to build some scalable projects. Okay, let's take all of these questions at the end, probably. Um, if you have any question till now regarding Gemini, or how to quickly use this for text, then yeah, let's go with this. Otherwise, I'm gonna go to the next part, which is generating text, like generating something with text and image as well. Are we good? Okay, I think we are mostly. Let me present my screen again. Okay, so we generate text from text only input. Now we will go to the second use case. So the second use case is using Gemini Pro Vision, because it's image and text, so it will be using a multi-model. Okay, so there are image requirements for input. Let's see what are those. Okay, right now it only supports PNG, JPEG, WebP. Okay, mostly everything that I can think of. Um, Maximum you can give 16 images, maximum of 4 MB, including image and text. That are no specific limit to the pixels. But okay, when generating images in your prompt, follow these recommendations. Okay, so I think we are good. Let's go and check what are the how do we write that. Okay, so this is the Gemini Pro Vision model. So let me first change our model. Till now we were using Gemini Pro, but now we're gonna use the other model. Okay, my model change is done. Now it's the same generation of the like generation, sorry, the initialization of the model. This portion we have done. So this is the mainly the next part where we will upload images, right? Okay, so let me just copy this code and check if this works. So we have another method which kind of links to this button. This will submit text and image. Okay, so submit text and image. So okay, this is upload text and image to Gemini. Image, I'll just rename this. I'm not passing any file or not picking the files. I have two beautiful images, one of a cat, one of a dog. So we're gonna mostly ask what kind of cat is it, or what kind of dog is it, and the facial feature of this cat, or the, what do you see, the eye color of the cat, probably, sort of those questions. Okay, so again, this is a future call or a call to the API, so I have to use a future as a return type here. Okay, this is done. Now it is actually picking up those files. I have this cat file, so let me just add that. uh, okay, I will create another folder called assets and put those there. Okay, after, so this is the folder where we have cat and dog image. Since this folder is out of the um, like this lib folder, and as I said, we write all of the code in lib folder. So we have to give reference to this asset folder, so that whenever we are compiling Flutter, it can get the reference to this folder when we're using the cat and dog image. So if you go down here, you can see there is a way to assets into your application. You just have to uncomment this and write your asset names. So I have the assets in assets folder, and I also have the cat is cat.jpg and assets. Okay, I'm just giving the reference here. Okay. Okay, perfect. So after I have done that, let me just run Flutter pub get. So anyway, I think I forgot to mention this. So when you run Flutter pub get, what it does is it runs this pub spec YAML file. So it will go through every dependency and try to add it in your project. So since I changed the assets here, I have to run this Flutter pub get so that these references are added. Okay, so it says that so in the reference code that we had here, basically it says we have to create a file and with that image, and also, okay, we are waiting for it, and then we're writing the prompt. Okay, the prompt we will write from here. So let's just pick the images first and create files. Okay. So cat dot jpeg. Okay, we're reading the files. The first and second image is done. Now the text part we will get from this input. So again, we're gonna use the controller.text. Okay, this is the first image, and it says that we are calling this generate content, and earlier I think we were passing just the text content in the content list, and because we have images now, so we're using this content dot multi constructor. So this is a constructor. Let's go inside and see what's there. So here user can have different part of the text part, the image part, different parts, right? Different type of parts. So we have the prompt, we have the image parts, which is fine, and we will call this generate content a method to get the response back. And again, the same thing, we will assign this response to our output variable. I hope this works. Otherwise, we will have to check how we can, I have some doubt here that this file will not be read, but let's see. Okay. Here okay, I forgot to provide an argument. Okay, there are no compiler errors till now. We have the cat and dog images. What do you gonna ask? What or recognize the subject in the images, right? Okay, let's see what happens. No answer till now. Okay, I think it broke somewhere. Um, I'll just check the exceptions. Okay, it's showing error. And it's not even giving what is wrong. I will try to run this in iOS as well, since sometimes web doesn't work. Let's see if this works in iOS. Okay, till now, till then, that is launching. Yeah, it's gonna take some time. I'll try to answer some of your questions. Okay, let's start from the start. Um, okay. The first question that I see is, I am a Flutter developer too. How and what should I learn more? I have built a lot of apps based on Flutter and Firebase, like how to build and grow now. Okay. So it's good that you have like created different applications, because most students or the beginners that I see, they start with Flutter, just with and Udemy course or maybe a YouTube course, and think that that is it. So I think you got a lot of learning as well. I would recommend, if I'm not sure if you are like a student, or like on fourth year, like which you are which year you are in. So let's say you are a third year or fourth year students, and I definitely recommend to get an internship. um, there are a lot of internships happening, and sometimes okay, so he says, Sadan Hussein, okay, he says that yes, I'm a student from second year. That's great. A lot of internships are available, those are paid as well. If you're good, you're gonna get in a very good amount of money as well. And also you'll kind of learn how to be a mobile developer, not just a Flutter developer, because understand this. Okay, amazing. So understand this. Like Flutter is just a part of it, so you have to understand how behind the system everything works, like how OS works. Let's say you have a lot of overhead in your application, it's using a lot of memories. Now your like especially in iOS, it's gonna kill your application, it's gonna crash it. So what are you gonna do? How are you going to manage those memory leaks? So these are some of the things that you need to do. And also like try to learn how to architect better application, because 90%, not 90%, I think like 50-60% is writing good code, and then later like finding out some of the performance issues, and then debugging those issues and check how you can be better from that. So yeah, I would definitely recommend good internships. So he says, I've done a basic internship and built UI for a startup. So UI is not just it. You have to kind of, let's say UI you can quickly build, right? And then you can build usable widgets, you can architect all the stuff, right? Then after that, like let's say if we divide that into like at least two layers, there would be data layer and UI layer, right? So just a basic division. So in data layer, there would be a lot of things, calling API, calling offline, like taking offline data, how to separate those, so that like you get the result faster. So I would recommend you to again go on an internship, try to learn everything and try to build everything in a way, from the data perspective, API perspective, how to call the APIs, how to maintain good code. So I think that would be your path. And if you can like have let's say good GitHub projects, then that attract good internships as well. So let's say you are learning something, building something, whatever it is, even if you feel that okay, this not up to the mark, then also put it in GitHub, because that's how you grow. And when you apply somewhere, those like, even like let's say when I get a lot of resumes and see, I generally check their GitHub to see what kind of project they have built. Even if those are bad, they are trying, they're growing into it. So those are kind of good paths to go to. Okay, and with that also, I would be hiring for interns very soon. I think within a day or two I'd post that, so you can apply here. You can go to LinkedIn and apply there. I'd probably post on LinkedIn mostly. Okay. The next question is how to build scalable projects. So um, you can build scalable projects, like then you have to have different architecture set up there, right? So you can have MVC, MVVM, or like just for the UI level, and then you can separate your data layer separately. You can have, like right now I'm working on a project where there is MVVM. So we have the view, we have basic widget setup, then we have view model. So you can call the APIs from there directly, or you can have a data layer, you can have all those parts of clean architecture as well. State management you can have, which is like suitable for your project. Like for a basic project, I would recommend provider, or let's say very provider is very easy to start to, then probably Riverpod. But let's say you have a huge project, and I would recommend like, I think I saw a block question here somewhere. Yeah, so it says the block architecture feels too much overwhelming. Yeah, I know it does. And eventually, like when I started, block was so very primitive. So it had a lot of methods, lot of events, and what do you say, a lot of files you have to create. Then like the setup was bit of overwhelming. So I don't recommend to for you to start with block if you have very basic project, right? So if you have, let's say, a banking project where there are different kind of handling of data, let's say the in a way, let's say Google Pay. So you are waiting for the confirmation of the payment. Meanwhile, you are showing something on the UI, and let's say the confirmation is done, then you need the confirmation UI to be shown, right? So there are multiple states of the UI. So if you have those sort of applications, then use block. It's highly recommended to use block there. But otherwise, I think provider Riverpod does a good job. Also, I have let me check if I can give that piece, that link here. I don't think, okay, I have to connect to YouTube to comment, which is fine. Let me just connect that. Okay. Um, I also have like a scalable GitHub repo. You can check that as well. So that I created, like I also felt that block was a little bit overwhelming, but you can check this. This has proper differentiation of clean architecture and the test cases and everything. So okay, I don't know. It's failing to post. I think because it's a link. I will somehow ask the host to. Yeah, I can. I am trying to share the link, but it's not allowing me. So I'll ask the host to share that with you. or even like if you can go to my GitHub, you can find that the project name is Poketext. Okay. The next question. Good repos to follow for Flutter. There are very good repos in Flutter. If you go to GitHub, even go to YouTube, there are good, contributors which are like who are learning Flutter, like making you learn Flutter from the start, from the scratch. One I can recommend, which I actually followed from the start, is Resocoder. That's a very good channel. You can go through other channels as well. There are a lot of channels. I don't actually right now like if you are little bit of in the advanced level, I generally recommend you to go through docs whenever like try to read something, try to read in Medium. So that's what I do. So I don't generally follow a lot of YouTube channels now, but Resocoder was a good channel, and I think it still is. So you can go through that. I think he also has a extensive course or blog course as well. So the blog course in Resocoder channel is very good. So you can follow that. Yeah, I felt that I am also not an expert in Gemini. I'm also starting out with Gemini. I have starting to build a project which is a separate project. I can't reveal that, but it feels very beginner friendly because I also started with Gemini like a month back. So it feels very friendly. Can you give some ideas to make projects with this for beginners? Okay. um okay, projects for beginners, I'm not sure what do you mean by this, but what do you suggest to a beginner in app dev field to start with? It will be Flutter or Kotlin. It depends. Right now, I think that like I see a shift to Flutter. A lot of the companies even there's a news. I'm not sure if you know this company, Headspace, which is a meditation and mental health app, and it is huge. So especially they are known for very good animations, very good UI, and they are switching to Flutter. So that actually like when these sort of companies switch to Flutter, then there is something to it, right? So for me, I have done Cordova, I have done like Android a little bit, I did web development, but since I think 5.5 years or 6 years I have been doing Flutter. And the main thing that I see from the company's perspective as well, that they have to maintain just one team. Their release cycle is very early, so like very quickly they can release. They don't have to wait for all the bugs to be solved in 2 or 3 different platforms. So all of those cases are there. And so you can start with, so if you want to like get your hands on Flutter, let's say you eventually have to learn a little bit Kotlin as well to work with Flutter. Let's say Google Maps, right? So that's a platform package. Now let's say you want to have something customized in that package, then you have to write a little bit of Kotlin code in the package level, so that when connecting with Flutter works in your case, right? Anyway, Google Map works very nicely, and but still, let's say you want some customization, and not only Kotlin. So let's say you have to a little bit understand little bit of Swift as well, or at least some of the syntax, or understand some of it. Yeah, so it's not that if you don't learn if you learn just Flutter, then you can't learn Kotlin. It's not like that as well. It's just mobile development. So I think going ahead, like when you start your career, I would recommend you to start with one, but eventually you have to have knowledge of kind of everything. Otherwise, it's very difficult to survive. Okay. Okay. I think there are no more questions, and let's see if our application is working. What's happening there? Okay, it's okay. It has run. It's there. I think I would get a very good understanding of what's wrong if I see the error here. Let's see. Okay, what are typo? What is the difference between these two images? Okay, it says there is a error here. Hmm, got it. Some exception. Okay, let's try to fix that. So what I mainly want to do is I want to create like wait for this the first image to be like read from the file. So I want to do this, and for the second image as well I want to do this. So I'm just gonna remove this portion, and I have the first image, the second image, and the image parts as well. Let's see if this works now. Okay, see, this is what I was afraid of. It can't find the path. Okay, so that's sad. Did I name it right? I think so. um let's do one thing. Let's just put it in live and let's see if that works. Otherwise, if that doesn't work, then we have to pick these images from the mobile as well. Okay, now we have just straight cut this. Yeah, they can find the path. Okay, so I need a file, and let's see if the gallery thing works. What is the path here? I totally forgot the syntax. Yeah, no. Okay. Um, okay, this is not working. Let's just stop sharing. I will add the gallery picker code in between. And yeah, so till then you can ask me questions and I'll try to answer. Okay, I can see a question here that do you recommend using Flutter Flow tool or not? I have not. I think I have just used Flutter Flow just to check how it is. But I think like Flutter Flow is doing good, even if let's say you like you see a lot of their use cases, and it feels so smooth. So if you are a beginner, I would totally recommend that you can like have it a test, check it, or like kind of try to be familiar with it, even if till then also you don't like Flutterflow, then you can switch to like anyway Flutter anyways, right? But I would also recommend to have like a little bit of Flutter knowledge, because behind the scene what is happening you have to know that, right? So have that knowledge, and then yeah, if you feel that Flutterflow is like eases your life, then yeah, you can totally use it. Okay, just hold on a second, I'm just adding the gallery picker code. Okay, let me just share my screen again. No, if we do Flutter or Flutter pub get, then also it won't work. It's just not taking the file. Let's say in this case, what I want to do is let's run this application in, I think in Chrome it's running. I suppose that. Okay. So what we will do is we'll use this image picker library, and if you see that it works for web as well. So we'll see if there are any limitation or anything else we have to add. I can't see any limitation here. I can just see one example. So let's see if this tries to work in web or not. So instead of adding these, what we're going to do is we'll just try to add the files from image picker and try to upload those first. For that, again, the same thing. You go to this package. This is the image picker package. You install it. So I'll just run this. Okay, it says it's already in the dependencies. And also I'm gonna just remove this. Since it's there, okay, it's happening, it's here. And I just want to get the image from gallery. I think it should support that. And I'm not picking any video. Okay, I have two images. And this gives me actually X file, but I need to have file. So yeah, I will just change that to file. Let's hope this works. I have never tried image picker with web. Let's see. This is the first time to check. And also, yeah, forgot to do Flutter pub get. Okay. So once I click on this, okay, perfect. I have this. This is the cat image. I'll just open it. It will ask me again, I suppose, if there's no error. Okay, it's not asking me, which is weird. Okay, let's just do first with one image. Then we're gonna go to the second one. So I click here. I take this. Okay, this is AVIF file. That's why it's not working. Um, I have this in. Okay, perfect. Okay, I did not add any. It's still not working, I guess, some error. Okay, it throws the namespace error again. I'm not sure why is that. What is this image? I have that. Now try to submit this. Okay, it did not throw any error and it's not giving any response as well. So I think we have to debug or something. Okay, it stopped somewhere. It's giving the namespace error again. I'm not sure if this is okay. Read bytes async because it needs the data. Yeah, true. Okay, I'll just wait for it. We will check in every step now if this works or not. Is the image describes. It's again giving me that error. Okay, we will try. The last try is gonna be with the iPhone. Let's see if that works. Okay. Okay. It stopped. I think there is like a problem with picking the file, either with the package or something. So yeah, we have to figure that out. This is, let's see if this works now. Otherwise, we're just gonna give it like we will try it later probably. Okay, I got the error now. Why it was wrong? Okay, just a second. I'm just gonna have the okay, the simulator is here. Okay, for the beginners, I would let this run first. It'll take some time. For the beginners, I would recommend you to go to either. Okay, so this was the blog that was I was saying, Rizocoder, and the YouTube videos as well. So you can go through his tutorial. I can join the developer boot camp, but I think that's paid. But the free content that he has is good as well. So you can explore the tutorials. Tons of stuff is there. If you like to read blogs, that's like you can use that, and you use this docs. Otherwise you can you can go through the YouTube videos as well. And but these are specially like focused with like a single thing. Let's say this is just riverpod, he has something just block, this is rive animations, sort of like that. So if you go through further down, you'd probably find lot of things which are very beginner friendly. These videos are very good as well if you want to learn about scaling Flutter apps. Okay, let's see. If this doesn't work, then I don't think then we are gonna be able to complete this use case. So we will try again. And all of this code and all, if you want, I actually can put it on GitHub, and you can try as well. Um, what is the what is in the image? Okay, it's crashing basically. So there is something wrong with this image package, so it's not allowing to pick things. Oh, okay, I know why it's happening in a way. Hmm. There is something, there's a file called info.plist in iOS. You have to add this description there. Okay, let's try for the last time, for the last time now. So okay, we're gonna add this key. Camera users also we have. Okay. Okay, I'm not risking this, so um, I'm just gonna mention that Flutter Gemini wants to use this. Okay, again, Flutter pub get to initialize everything. And okay, let's just start. Okay, cool. The build was done very quickly now. Amazing. Okay, perfect. Okay, I want to have this image. Okay, it came here. It's taking the text. Perfect. I have the, I think I have the list as well. Okay, for some reason it's stuck here. Okay, let's try to run. Then I'm just gonna stop sharing my screen. And if you have any more question, I'll just like to address those first. And meanwhile, if this works, then works. Otherwise, yeah, just have to like try it for the next time. Okay, I think there are no more questions. If you want to have specific Flutter questions, you can just connect with me on LinkedIn or maybe Twitter. And like I would recommend for now you to like if you are starting with Flutter, then like try to do as many as like project possible. And then because like when I started as well around 2018, I started with cloning Google Pay, and it's such an like coincidence, I can say. The first thing that I really liked was those scratch cards, so I thought, why not clone it and try to clone it in Flutter. And then after some years they actually shifted to Flutter, which was very coincidental. But yeah, like as many as you can, and then try to get internship. Also, like if you are good with Flutter, you think that you are very good with Flutter, you have done internship, then apply for jobs. I think there are a lot of like not even internship, there are a lot of jobs in terms of Flutter, like remote jobs, and you can like basically get knowledge from there and show them as legit projects in your like resume as well. So that is like if you have professional project in your in your resume, that's the best thing to have when you are going for different companies. But yeah, like try to finalize in a way. I know like in second year or third year I was also like confused what career I should choose, and I did not know like when I joined my first company, like which like if I'm gonna work in front end or I'm gonna work in back end or something else, right? So I was trained in back end, but then I joined front end. So I think in today's world we don't have to do that. You can define your career path, and if you think that front end is something that you like, then either website building, mobile app development, those are like little bit part of it. and if you like AI, then there is a like whole new genre now. So you can definitely like have those parts cleared first and then go for the interview, having that clarification in your mind. I see one question, that which, ma'am, what all things should I focus on learning after basic Flutter and Firebase? Okay, so yeah, with Firebase you can use, like, you can actually quickly build application, but then backend is not just Firebase. So if you wanna go deeper into Flutter, then definitely try to have, let's say, animations running, right? A lot of UI operations are happening. Then try to learn isolates, try to use different threads for running your Flutter application. So yeah, mostly those.
Wow, that was an insightful and inspiring session. Unfortunately, we have a time constraint, so we need to wrap up this session. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your expertise and showing us the power of Flutter and Gemini Incorporated. I know the audience gained valuable knowledge and ideas that will undoubtedly fuel their hackathon projects. Remember, Hack and ITR 5.0 is more than just a competition, it's a platform to learn, collaborate, and create impactful solutions. As we know, only 2 days to go before the hacking hour starts, so stay connected with the Hack and ITR community. Follow us on social media for updates, announcements, and inspiring stories. Thank you once again to Debasmita Sarkar ma'am and to all of you for attending this session. Let's make an ITR 5.1 event to remember.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I would love if the image worked, but yeah, I think that's for you to work on now. I just got the error why it did not work, because we were uploading an image which is more than 5 MB. Yeah, so but yeah, like, try to build something which is very useful and quirky, and can be like with AI probably, because that's the fact now. It was very nice, like, having this talk with AI. And yeah, I would I would like for you to build a lot of things, and a lot of interesting things, and also let me know if you have any questions later as well.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you everyone for joining in.